I'm Dr. S. Barath Kumar. In this video, we will see how I am planning to do some adjustments if at all it is required in the coming week, and what are the trades that I have been planning for the coming week. Now, getting into the video, a very strict disclaimer: I am not a SEBI registered analyst, so kindly do consult your financial advisor before taking any trades, and kindly please don't follow any trades that I take blindly, because the risk appetite may vary from person to person. So that is it about the disclaimer. Now getting into the video. Yeah, so these are my positions currently. That is the account that I have been showing regularly. We'll see what has happened. Now coming to the Bank Nifty, see, of course you do see that I have 3 sell positions in Bank Nifty. That is it, 36,000, 36,500 and 37,500. Now the Bank Nifty is currently at around 38 and 800. So I'm not planning to do any adjustment as far as the 36 or the 36,500 is concerned currently, and I'm just planning to do some adjustments if required for 37,500 put option, where we see that there is a minor M2M of around 1,600 rupees. Now getting into the charts, why I'm saying I'm ready for the adjustment, I'll tell you. Now this is the Bank Nifty chart. Now Bank Nifty looks a little bit strong compared to Nifty. To be very frank, I would prefer henceforth, I prefer selling some put options in Bank Nifty compared to Nifty, if at all the market is going to turn a little bit bullish. That is the first thing. Now the Bank Nifty currently is at a very crucial support to my analysis. That around the 38,800 to 39 is a very strong support for the Bank Nifty. Now when I would be doing some adjustments about the put that I have sold is, once Bank Nifty becomes a little bit weaker and starts trading a little bit down, probably from around 38,500 onwards, if it goes below 38,600 or 38,500 onwards, probably I will consider selling some calls. Now again, what are the calls that I be planning to sell? I am not going to sell anything very aggressively that is very close to the strike, definitely no. I am planning to sell not the current week but the next week calls around 40,000 or 40,500 call. The reason is Bank Nifty is actually highly volatile. So, and generally if we look at the chart, maybe in the very short term it may be a little bit bearish, but I think in the medium term it is definitely a little bit bullish compared to other stocks or Nifty. So if it makes an up move, it can easily go to 40,000 or so. We really don't know. So once we short a call and then Bank Nifty reverses and gets back to higher levels, the calls will really create more issue and confusion. So I will not really short the Bank Nifty unless and until we get a clear indication. And that too, definitely I will not definitely play in the futures invariably. I will play only with calls, and that too quite far away calls. That is my plan as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned. And again, just 1 or 2 lots, not more than that. That too safe calls. And definitely not planning to do anything aggressively in Bank Nifty currently. And then I was actually, whoever viewers have been watching my videos regularly, you did know that I did have some HDFC Bank call options, and last Friday HDFC Bank did make a reasonable up move, so that was in a decent profit, so I thought I booked the profits. Now there is one more logic why I have booked the profit in HDFC Bank. Now some of the viewers, of course, they have commented asking me a right question. They say me that I am a retail trader, I don't have a large capital. Then whenever I discuss a video, I say that I am going to buy the futures or I am going to go long in the stock. But what about the shortfall of the capital? It's a very apt and right question, which I think I need to answer right away. Now, I don't intend to hold all the positions to expiry. As you saw, now HDFC Bank did give me a profit, whereas I have some positions in Nifty which has started giving me some kind of minor issues. So I need some capital to be freed. And whenever we see some profit, even if it's going to be say 50 or 60% premium that is decayed, or even sometimes 40%, I don't mind booking the profit and always freeing the capital. In case if there is actually a major drawdown, then probably I will try to infuse some capital, buying the stocks in the cash market, or probably going long, holding some buffer as to what M2M can happen. That is more important. So that is what is actually position sizing. Probably we will see about that later. So considering these situations, as I told you, again Nifty is giving me some issues. So I thought, why not book the profit in HDFC Bank and get a little bit closer. That's it. Now that the margin is a little bit free, we have all the room to do some adjustments in Nifty if it is required. Now coming to HDFC Bank, now this is HDFC Bank. last time, of course, again, a lot of viewers have raised a comment saying that I have sold HDFC Bank and HDFC also, and considering this situation where the FIs have been selling aggressively, and when they sell in these counters. So what is the rationale behind selling these? Now I will tell you the rationale. Now you see that I sold HDFC Bank 2400 put option, but the day when I sold it, it's not bank, I'm sorry, HDFC, Housing and Financial Corporation. So HDFC, that day when I sold the put option, it fell by almost say 3.25%. Now last day, that is Friday, it again fell by another 1%, close to 1%. In spite of that, the option that we have sold, you still see that it is actually reduced in value by around 6 to 7%. Now that is the power of selling options when the market really crashes greatly. Now 3% fall to me is a little bit of a excess. So that is the time when we can always sell some put options very far. Now if the market doesn't go up, and even if it is going to fall slow, we don't have much to lose, or if at all it is going to be there, we will have a very minor M2M. I don't mind that. And if the market recovers or stabilizes, we will recover almost half the premium within a few days. So that is the rationale behind selling it. And HDFC is a blue chips company, and probably we will also see the chart why I have sold 2400. Probably when you see a long term view, to my opinion, HDFC buying it at around 2000 levels, 2400 levels or so is definitely a good buy if I am planning to hold it for the long term. So around this 2400 I feel is a very strong support. Basically, if you see in a longer time frame, it has been consolidating with this figure within these ranges. So at 2.4 I think it is not a bad company to buy, and I will be holding it for the long term and trying to sell some calls regularly. As long as I make some regular income out of it, I don't mind holding on to that. Eventually it will pick up, and when it picks up, I will be selling it in profit. That's my simple logic. I may be wrong. Let's see what happens. So that is the reason I have been updating all these things. If at all, and a lot of people ask me how I take delivery and other things. Probably we will wait and watch. Sometimes eventually I'll be forced to take delivery in one or two stock positions. We'll see how we'll manage about that later. So that is my call about the HDFC. Now the Hindustan Lever, of course, you saw that last time I did have a 2300 put. Again, that's the same logic. Actually last time Hindustan Lever did make a minor up move, and my option what I sold was in a reasonable profit. So I had to book it up, and then I have actually, you see that now I come to 2240 put, which is furthermore 60 points away. So it is eventually we take a delivery at around 2240 minus 15, which is around 2225, which I really don't mind. When I was ready to buy at 2300, why not at 2225? The reason again is very simple. Again, we will go to the stocks chart again. Yeah, now this is actually the long term chart of Hindustan Lever. You see that of course the long term trend has been consolidating the lower range definitely, but again if you see in a very short time frame, probably say 1 hour or so, we still see that in the lower range also this 2300 is being taken off very easily off late. So I thought we'll rather move a little bit far, and 2240 level I feel is a little bit safe compared to 2300. And the reason I told you, I cannot really go taking delivery for all the stocks and all the positions that I've been selling. So I need to free my capital if at all something goes wrong. That's our intention, where I actually sold and I went a little bit far away. Last time of course the premium was around 30 rupees and it was around 2300. Now it is only 16 rupees. I don't mind it. So but still it's a good premium, I think. So we can always wait about the Hindustan Lever also. So that is my rationale behind selling Hindustan Lever. Now Nifty is what is causing some issues. You see that I do have two positions in Nifty, that is 2 ratio spread. It is 3:1 ratio spread, that is 1700 versus 17300, 17200 versus 17400. Now this 17100 currently has not caused much of issues, but then the 17200 has been causing some issues. We have a major we have an M2M of almost around say 3000 to 3500 rupees. So I think it is always time to be a little bit cautious about Nifty. Now coming to the Nifty chart, it shows signs of some weakness. I may be wrong, but still from what I look, compared to Bank Nifty, Nifty is getting a little bit weak. But compared to all the results that has been happening, and probably say because of the SBI, if at all Bank Nifty goes up a little bit higher, Nifty will not fall down. So it will probably hold on. But I am not very bullish currently at least. So as long as Nifty is okay at around 17,500, which I feel is that 17,450 to 500 is actually a very crucial level to my opinion. So in case Nifty starts trading below 17,400, I think we have to be a little bit cautious. That's the reason I have freed my positions and we have some capital to manage the position. So 17, once it comes to 17.4, 17.2 is not very far. As it comes to 17.4, of course you see that we have one put option which is we have bought it. So this will be in profit, but the 17,200 will start giving losses, but we can always manage it. I will sell some calls. But what are the calls that I will be shorting? I will definitely not short calls in the month end or probably the current week. I am planning to short calls probably the next week, that is the 17th of February. And what are the calls that I will short? I will not short anything closer to 17,800. I feel 17,800 is a reasonable resistance, but still I don't want to play a high adrenaline sport or so here. I don't want to really short any calls very close. So I'm planning to sell something at around 18,000, 1,800 or so probably. Even if it's going to be a little bit of money, I don't mind. And if really if Nifty is going to fall drastically, which may be the case, we don't know. If that is the thing, probably we'll do a little bit of more aggressive adjustments, and that's the reason we've been having some capital. We can even always buy some puts, we can always manage a position. So that is what is the Nifty is concerned. Now coming to Reliance. Last time you did see that the 2,260 was the only option that I had sold, and I considered it to be that 18 rupees level to be a very reasonable profit level for me to attain if at all Reliance stands up, that is goes up. But then of course our view went really wrong. Reliance has been very weak. So I just added one more call, but the call that I've added is almost, say, you see that is Reliance is currently at around 2,330 levels. I've sold it almost 300 points away. I really don't want to mess up with calls because I've burned my fingers a lot in the past. So I don't want to really go with short any calls which is very near. And the rationale I'll tell you, the reason why I'll explain you 2,260 why I've chosen it previously. Coming to the charts. Yeah, so Reliance, to my opinion, around 2,250 levels or so, or 2,240 level is going to be definitely a very good buy. When you see all these things, probably we need to just go a little bit far. So when we see from a larger time frame, it's a good stock, it's a heavyweight, and it's been consolidating. That's what is my opinion. And around this is a very strong support to my opinion, around 2,260 levels or so. So what is the rationale behind selling it? You see that collectively we have collected around, say, both the calls and the put roughly around 25 rupees. So we'll be going long and it's with a clear intention of going for the delivery here, Reliance. Now I'm going to buy it only at around, say, 2,235 levels. So I'm definitely prepared to take a long position in that. Last time, in fact, that is what I did when the market did correct actually. That is when it came down. I bought Reliance at around 2,300 levels also in the cash market, and then it really shot up well. I did book my profits and then came out. So I don't mind doing the same thing again. Always, whenever it is bearish, everyone assumes that the positions are going to be bearish and the stock is going to fall another 500,000 rupees always, but that is not the case generally. So we can ignore the noise. So these are my rationales behind why I sold these positions and why I booked some of the profits, and I am sitting with some kind of free capital to adjust whatever is required. So I think my adjustments videos, if at all is useful, kindly do register your comments. And now to see again, there is a very famous saying. They say that once the war starts, all the planning goes out of the window. That is a very true fact, and that actually holds very apt for the option sellers. Now we as option sellers, whenever there is a weekend, we try to do a lot of planning. We try to do we try to be ready to do some adjustments if at all these things happen and we see the chart. But then once the war happened, that is once the market opens, anything can happen, and whatever adjustment that we have planned actually sometimes really goes off way, and we will be forced to do a lot of adjustments then and there. So all these, but then it doesn't mean that we cannot go with any planning at all. We need to always plan, but as the war starts, we need to really counter it by some aggressive measures. So that is what it is. As long as we know what we are doing, and then when we really expect something worse and we are prepared for it, I don't think there is anything to worry. That is what is option selling market all about. It's all about how we manage the risk. So probably certain people will be good at managing it. Now as a retail trader, why I always advise people to be far from the current strike is that is the reason. We don't have a large capital to manage if at all the position goes terribly wrong, which can always happen. So I think the best defense is being a little bit far, and in spite of that we need to have some free capital. If in case the position goes really bad and we are prepared to do some adjustments, and we know what we are doing, I don't think there's going to be an issue. So that is what it is. And if you have been deriving some value out of these videos, kindly do register your comments, and I always read all your comments. It has been very constructive and I'm quite happy to read all your comments. And one more thing, I always want my viewers also to put in their views about the market prediction, that is the Nifty or the Bank Nifty. What are your takes and what are your calls, whether you are bearish or bullish or probably your levels. I would be really interested to read all those levels. So I do read all the comments. So please drop in your comments, and do consider liking and subscribing to this channel. I do see that again there are a lot of viewers who have not actually subscribed. So kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you all. Wish you a very good health.